Dear viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel, the Reality Core TV. My name is Aliko Deborah JB, and today I'm going to be discussing a very insightful topic on becoming a time and stress management warrior. So time and stress management, these two aspects are kind of intertwined, so they're kind of closely, they go like hand in hand, in the sense that when you're able to manage time properly, you are also simultaneously managing stress. So I will discuss more on this in the video, and I hope you get to learn something. Thank you very much. So as we go through this episode together, I would like you to be open-minded as much as possible, because this is where you get solutions to any form of excessive stress or inability to manage time the proper way, and it's telling negatively. So this is the point where you get solutions. It's not everyone goes through challenges, and this could be a challenge, so you don't have to feel bad about it. As long as you are in the right place, and I hope that you are going to be able to get everything you need to hear. So let's proceed now. Are you tired? Are you tired? You have to know exactly what makes you tired and why you are tired. If you feel physically drained or mentally unmotivated, then it means you are tired. You don't just feel like doing anything. It happens. That means you are tired. It could be physically, be bodily, and it could also be mentally, like just there's no drive within you to do much or to do anything. That means you are tired. Then if you give up easily on activities that are meant to shape your life, then it means you are tired. Like maybe you start something and then you don't have the fortitude to push on to continue, and then you just give up midway or somewhere around the beginning or towards the end, you don't just finish it, then it means you are tired. So since we have been able to identify the things that make us believe that you're tired, then let's move to the next, because we are going to examine both the time management aspect and the stress management aspect. So this question now, are you prone to procrastination? This is relating more to the time management aspect. The are you tired question is like the stress management aspect, but this one now is saying, are you prone to procrastination? And these are the points that make you know, are you lagging behind on certain activities that you are meant to execute? Maybe there's a deadline already and you've not even started anything, and you are not even feeling like you need to start. That is a sign of procrastination. And do you always think there is a better time to do things than now? Like, okay, maybe later on, maybe in the next few days I'll be able to get it done. And that day comes and you're still thinking that there is a better time, that it's not now, and all of that. It's a sign of being too used to procrastination. Then it means that such an individual is actually lacking proper time management skills. It doesn't mean that maybe they're not doing other things, but maybe that thing is more pressing and they just feel the drive. They don't just feel like they're ready. You know, when you're ready, like when you always feel like you're not ready always and you're not ready, it's a sign of procrastination, like pushing it forward all the time. And it can be actually very dangerous to productivity as an individual. So what next? You know, there's this tendency to want to be brooding over lost time, like I've wasted so much time, and just thinking about the time lost. But instead of brooding over lost time, you can learn better on how to manage your stress and time and do things differently going forward, and then become the person of your dreams. So, because even feeling sad over lost time, if you start thinking about the time you've lost and everything, feeling sad over lost time is also a mismanagement of time, because you're just staying stalled and thinking about it. That's also time mismanagement. So you have to stop feeling sad about lost time and then look forward to see how things can be made different going forward. So here we are now, the time management tips, and these are actually very important ways to manage your time effectively, and they are very helpful as long as you put your mind to it. It's not just about learning the tips or putting them down, it's about your willingness to actually work with them. If you keep gathering knowledge from maybe this video, that podcast, or you listen or read articles and you get a lot of things and you just have them in your mind or have them somewhere in your jotter or something, and you don't make deliberate efforts to work with them, you keep being the same person you have always been. But when you make up your mind that you want to actually work with these tips and you start working with them, then you begin to see different results. Now, in terms of time management, the first thing is to know your first tasks. That's why I said first tasks first. You need to know what to do first, because whatever you do first actually has a way of helping you through the remaining tasks. That is it. That's the way it works. Whatever you do first matters a lot. So it depends on whether you feel unmotivated or whether you feel motivated. So if you feel unmotivated, the best thing to do is to begin with the tasks you love or enjoy doing the most. Please don't start with the most tedious tasks, because you are unmotivated. So when you are not really motivated, you are feeling down, you're not motivated to do anything, and then you pick the tedious task, it's like you're just putting yourself into more problem, because you will not be able to follow through. So whenever you feel unmotivated, begin with the tasks you love or enjoy doing the most. You might have like 5 tasks with you on your plate. Just look for the one out of those 5. Just look for the one that kind of interests you the most, that kind of makes you happy. Then start with that. You will see that it will, gradually increase your growth, the way you move with the task, and it will increase your growth and your speed as you venture. So that is it. But when you feel motivated, but you are just overwhelmed with a truckload of work, like the work seems too much, you are actually motivated, but the issue now is the work is voluminous. So this is the time you need to begin from the tedious tasks to simpler ones, because you're motivated already. But when you start with the tedious one and then gradually you move to the ones that are simpler, you keep going faster, and then you'll be surprised at how soon you get a lot of things done. So that is what this slide is talking about. Then you also need to tailor your to-do lists in a realistic manner. You don't have to put so many things in your daily schedule, things that you already know that are not possible. I mean, things that you already know that are not feasible to be done that day. You know what is required of you for that particular day, and then you just have to be realistic about it. You don't need to put so many things that you know that are not feasible, considering the amount of tasks that you have to do. Because if you overload your to-do list with a lot of things you already know are not possible, you feel like, I just feel like these things should be done today, but you already know that they are not feasible. At the end of the day, you'll be feeling disappointed and you will not be satisfied. You'll be feeling like maybe you're lagging behind or you're not doing what is expected of you. So, but when you tailor it in such a way that you know that, okay, with what I have on my plate today, I should be able to do this one, you're very sure that you'll be able to do it. Then even if there is a kind of unexpected, sometimes some things chip into your to-do list, like things you did not plan before can surface, and they can be very important that you have to put aside some things you have and then get that done. But still, you know that you will still be able to get back to them that day and do them. Those are the kind of things you need to put together. Because, for instance, if you want to read a book that is instrumental to your passion, and you see that considering other tasks you have in mind that day, you'll be able to read 5 pages. Then set the target for 5 pages and not 10 pages. Because that 5 pages is more certain to you, and you know that you'll be able to achieve it by breaking it down into smaller pieces. So, like, imagine that you set a target for 10 pages and you already know you'll be able to read like 5 pages, and you set a target for 10 pages, and then at the end of the day is like already going, and then you're just able to read like 3 pages out of 10. Then you'll be feeling like you did not do enough. Then you'll be feeling like the work is so like enormous, and you'll be feeling like you did not pull your weight for that day. But imagine that you just did like 5 pages. Let's even say you were able to read 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 is still better than 3 out of 10. So that is the importance of actually tailoring your tasks in a realistic manner. The next one is to celebrate and reward yourself. You need to learn how to reward yourself each time you meet up with what you're set to do. Don't let it be all about work. Learn to, make yourself happy, because when you begin to celebrate yourself and celebrate the things that you have done, it will make you to be more encouraged to continue with what you have done, like to continue being devoted and diligent to what you are supposed to do. Whatever you decide to reward yourself with is up to you. It could be something as huge as going on a vacation, or something as maybe visiting a friend, or something as little as maybe seeing a movie, getting your favorite treat, or an enriching sleep, or just taking enough time to relax and put work aside, and whatever good thing that makes you happy. So that is very important as well. Then the next part is to be accountable. Be accountable. This does not mean that you need to be closely monitored. It only ensures the feasibility of your tasks, in terms of getting them done at the right time. When you have someone close to you, could be a mentor or a trustworthy friend that actually means well for you, and you let them know some things that are going on in your life, they can be there to motivate you to get those things done at the right time. When someone asks you that this thing you say you're doing, how far with it, even if you have not really gone far, you can say, oh, I've started this. But then the fact that person asked after it may make you, put you on your toes, and make you understand that you need to double up. It's just normal human beings. That's just the psychology of it. When someone asks you about something, even if you've not really been doing it much, if you are someone that is really open to growth, you will be more enthusiastic about getting it done, because there's someone that actually asked of it, and there's somebody that is actually interested in that aspect of you. So that is very important also for good time management. Now we are in the stress management aspect, and this part is to help you find the practical ways to manage your stress. We all get stressed at some point, but these tips will actually help you and everyone concerned to be able to practice activities practice tips that are going to eradicate stress, at least to a very large extent. The first tip is to rest at the best time. Rest at the best time. There is always a best time to rest, and there is a time that resting is not at the best time. Imagine you are so weak already and sick. God forbid, I don't wish that for you, but there are times it happens that way. Then you're just resting. a lot has already we have to go into that. But when you rest at the best time, like resting when due, it's without ignoring your body's signal to rest. When you rest at the best time, it will help you to become healthier. You will need to break down first before you need to rest. So that is what this aspect is talking about. You need to know when to rest at the best time, and you know it already. Like when you know you've done a lot, you need to rest. Even if you're not yet having headache or body pain, you still need to rest. Don't wait until you have the headache or the body pain before you rest. That is what this slide is talking about. Then also shun comparison. You own what you're capable of. Don't pick a work style just because everyone else around you is doing it. Don't do it because everyone else is doing this style. Maybe some people love to work up in the night, like work in the night, stay all night working. If that does not work for you, you don't have to copy that. You don't have to copy that. If you are a day person, then make good use of your day, and don't say, okay, because others are doing this at night, I must also stay at night to do that. So when you learn to do what you find working and like easy for yourself, that is the best. Because when you try to do something else because someone else is doing it to achieve your own goals, it might not pay off, because you might not be able to know exactly what it takes. For those people who chose to pick that style, you might not know exactly what it takes or how they are doing it to achieve that. And then because you have not really mastered that style, you just end up like wasting time on other non-essentials for that period of time. So that is why it's very important to be yourself and know what works for you and stick to that. Then the next is to not form the habit of piling up work. Do your work in beats. I know you may have like known that, but it's very important. It's not just about knowing it, it's about actually working on it. You need to know how to break down your tasks into little bits and then do them without rushing them up. There might be some people who love to rush things up towards the deadline or towards the tail end, but I believe that for effectiveness and for thoroughness, it's good to do things in bits, because you'll be able to really devote your time and attention to making it the best it needs to be. And then it will actually increase your speed and your productivity within a short time. There's this anxiety of saying that you have a lot of things to do, a pile of work to do, because you've been loading them up. And the anxiety might actually affect the effectiveness of the result. So that is why you need to learn to do things at the right time without piling them up. Then also back to the previous point, if there are some people that pile up work and maybe they seem to still get a good outcome out of it, and you know that piling up work does not work for you, you don't have to pile up your work because maybe some other people are piling it up and you don't know the reason they are piling it up. Some people have a lot of things going on in their lives and then they just leave some other things and they have no choice than to pile up, though there might still be a better way to manage the time, but maybe that is their own, like they feel like they have personal reasons why they decided to do that. You don't have to inculcate that, because what actually helps your brain and helps your consciousness and your comfortability and your ability to reason more is when you do things at the right time in bits. There's more clarity, and even if some people that are part of work seem to say that maybe they still have maybe a good outcome from it, the question you ask yourself is, could it not have been better? Who knows, maybe if the work wasn't piled up, the outcome would have even been much, like it would have even been better than what they heard. So that is why you need to, as much as possible, imbibe the habit of doing your work in bits and at the right time, so that you can, give it all it takes and get the very best from it. Then also, the last aspect is, do not be overwhelmed with anxiety. Anxiety leads to stress, and when you begin to feel anxious or worried, it begins to tell on your look, on your appearance. Even you might have some people that will tell you that you're looking stressed, and because you have a lot of things in your mind. Even if you are feeling well and you're resting at the bedtime, if there are so many things in your head and so many things in your mind and so much worries and anxiety and all of that, it will still bring a look of stress on you. So learn to live one day at a time. Do not be full of so many activities that do not make you to rest at the right time, eat at the right time, or sleep at the right time. So learn to be as calm as much as possible. There are things in life that can come up that want to make you feel bothered, but just quickly remind yourself that no situation is static. Yes, it will pass. So for every situation that surfaces, learn to have the upper hand. Learn to outsmart your situations. Like, just have the upper hand by determining that this will not break you, that you're just going to put in the best that you can do at that period of time and seek for whatever right solution, and just do what is within your means, and then just leave the rest. And also, here is the point I would like to talk about, the importance of having God in your life, because when you have God in your life, there is this kind of peace that surpasses all understanding that you're going to have. You won't be agitated, even if every other person seems to be agitated all the time. But you will always see the difference it brings in your mind when you have God, because it's going to bring a kind of calmness that cannot be gotten from anywhere in this world. Yes, and you just see that you are just very calm and taking things easy. And as time goes on, like as the time unfolds, you see that everything is just falling into place and everything is working right. And if there is anything that even happens that was necessary to happen, it will not break you. So that is the importance of having God. Thank you very much for listening and for watching. And if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to us. I will respond by God's grace. Any question, you can send it through my mail or my social media handles as you have on your screen. So feel free to reach out. Some people reach out to ask questions, and by God's grace, I have been able to respond to them, and you are also welcome to ask your questions. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and I hope that you were able to learn something at least. See you next time. Bye. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you were able to learn one or two things and stay as a stress and time management warrior going forward. Thank you once again.